have the leaf up here and the catch the shadow down over here. The first step we're gonna do, we're gonna wet the area for the leaf before apply the real color. Have a very light color like this so we can see it, but also we can change it easier. So we're gonna see and use a finger, draw it. So I'm gonna see the leaf over here. So I'm gonna mark the left hand side, right? Over here, I'm gonna mark the leaf on the right hand side over here like this. Just mark the top, the bottom like that. Just mark it just like you are doing with pencil, like this. And again, there's no two leaves, they look the same. So you are the only one seeing the real leaf. I may not, someone can see different. The very important is to capture the accents of the leaf, like say how the color blend together and so on. So the catched shadow is gonna be here, and you can make the shadow a little bit shorter if you need to, okay? Because it depends on where the light coming from, and also you can change the angle of the location of the catched shadow. Okay, now the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna use just a very light color. Now I'm gonna fill it in over here, and we're gonna leave a little opening in the middle, like this. All right, you see that? You see this color, and coming down over here, right? Coming over here, so the majority of areas, it actually wet. You can see from here, and also a little opening here. There's a little spot. You can draw that right over here, like this. Use a lot of water. Make sure enough water, and a little opening right over here, right? And coming down here, and have a little bit over here. Now that's good. Now I'm gonna continue coming through over here. Now I'm gonna wet the rest of the page. Actually, over here has a little opening right over here. So now I'm gonna wet the whole area, because the next step we're gonna do, we're gonna apply very wet paint. It's gonna make a very smooth color blending together. Now we just wet the area. Now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take the yellow color, and you can start putting the yellow color here first. And now you see, oh, this is not just yellow. I'm gonna make a little red with the yellow, look like a little bit orange. And you can put it over here like this, because the wet moving the color around. And that probably will solve some of your problem that making it look too much texture. Okay, now use the tip to add this edge, the little edges over here, like this. Right? Just enjoy your time to gradually fill in the color. You can add more and more water into it. You can prolong the drying time. Okay, like this. Now I'm gonna add more color. Make it a little bit darker. I'm gonna take this color in here. You can change the color if you want, like this. And now some of the area has no wet. It actually is just going around the area, like this. Right? And then let's mix a little bit more orange color. Okay, add a little blue color into it, so we make a little bit more like brownish colors. That's good. So I'm gonna come in over here, add the color in here. That's good. That's good. And let the color going around. See that? A little edge. There's some edge to it. Like this. Just use the tip of the brush. Like that. Okay. Going around. That's good. Ooh, watch out. Some of the area you might want to protect it. Go around like this. That's good. Right? Now let's see. Somewhere has too much wet. So it just squeeze the wet away from the brush. So what you can do is just to pick up those excess wet. So a little bit more even. Now this is good. And over here is a little bit too much wet. So you can control it by just using the brush. Now what I want to do now, I'm going to add a little bit darker color. Now I'm going to mix that red with some yellow and with some blue color. You see that? This is a darker color. And you want to be a little bit warmer, get a little bit more red color in here. So the whole thing is still wet, so it's pretty easy. Just drop in the color. This technique called drop in. You see that? Drop in the color in here. It's very easy. Drop in the color over here. Drop in the color over here, like this. And drop the color over here. It would very easy transport the color a little bit more evenly around, like this. Okay, like this area, a little bit too much wet. So I'm gonna lift up the water and then come back over here, take a little bit more color and just put it in here. A little more color, just put it in. It's the season of autumn. There's lots of beautiful leaves. So you want to do a little bit more paintings of leaves. Now what I want to do, I'm going to put this a little bit darker because just the shadow over here. Like this. And then I'm going to drop in a little bit more colors. I want to get a little bit more red colors in here. Like over here. See that? And add a little red color. This color, a little bit lighter. And I just want to drop it in like this and let the color gradually fade away like this. And this is fine. Whatever you do, make sure you do this wet into wet so it's easy and also look natural like this. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to squeeze all the extra wet. Now what I want to do, I want to lift up the color. See that? I'm going to take this color out. So make it look like facing to the light. Okay, like this. Make this a little bit lighter. A little bit lighter. Now, take the color. And over here, I'm going to make this a little bit lighter. Just lift up the color. And over here, I'm going to lift up a little color. Just lift up the color. Lift up a little more. Just look like the light shining on here. That's good. While this whole thing is still wet, now I get the toothpick. I'm going to draw a vein. Ready? Over here. And draw it slowly. And make it a little bit more natural, like the vein. Control how deep you want to push it in. And actually, I'm going to put it like this and coming this way. and a little bit different from the reference. That's one. And on this side, look before you continue. Look first to see where is that going. Softly disappear. And like this. Softly going through. Like that, a little bit lighter and lighter. Like this. Look at that. It's a little bit like this. That's good. On this side is not that obvious. So lightly just drag it through. That's fine. Like that. Let's wait a little bit, let it dry. Now this painting already dried. What I like to do, I'm going to overlay a little color over here because I want to make this area looks like the shadow. And this area facing to the light. So I want to use this area, have a little bit more like a blue colors. Usually in the shadow side, looks like a little bit more blue color. And this time I'm going to use this flat brush. Now I'm going to take a little yellow color, just a little yellow color, add a little bit blue color in here. There's something look like this, so a little bit more like a little cooler color. So I add a little bit more water, and here we go. What you can do is just to have enough water so you can just make it look very smooth. Make it like this. Just use the corner, sometimes use the corner of the brush, sometimes use the whole brush. Now coming over here. So now you see that this area a little bit darker. Now coming to this side, and also on this side, you want to use the color over here, and also curve coming over. So you want to try to get that impression into your painting. And try to use the flat brush when you do the overlay wash, like this. Now on the top over here, when it's the area facing to the light, you actually see a little bit brighter. So yellow color is make things look pretty bright. So now what I want to do, I'm going to just use this yellow color over here, overlay on top of this area. I don't need that much yellow. I don't want it to look too thick. So I'm going to let go all the unnecessary color, like this, like blend in this color, like this. On the top over here too, and use a little yellow color to make it a little brighter, like this. And over here too, I can lift up a little color, so even lighter than this. A little bit lighter, like that. So you can see the change on the leaf, a little bit more curved over. And I'm going to use a little bit more green color, but I don't want you to think about green color. They actually blue and yellow color. I want to have a little bit over here. Okay, like this. So this is good. Now what the next thing we're going to do, we're going to start wet the area for the shape of the catch the shadow. So let's start it here, and the color coming over here. Let's add a little blue color, like a little gray color. And this is not the final color, just use that so we can see the color coming over here. Now thinking about what's the shape of the catch the shadow you want. And let's do the edge a little bit later. I'm going to have it coming a little bit more like this, instead of going all the way to the left, to the right side. So I'm going to coming over here and a little bit longer, like coming down over here. I'm going to use a little bit more water. Now take a look on this side, the edge over here, like this, and then coming to this side. And coming like this. You can change the shape if you want. Like now, what I want to do, I'm going to wet this area. So the same thing that when we do the leaf, it will make it look more even, right? Now, let's just use a little color so we can see where is already wet, where is not. Okay, like here, coming over here, a little bit opening, see the little crack, that's good, like that. So, enjoy your time filling in the color, okay, like this. Now we see the whole area. Now what we're gonna do, and we're gonna draw this little line a little bit later when we use the real color. What we can do now, we're gonna just take a little blue colors, and in your mind, all the color mix from the 3 primary colors. I'm gonna take this color, I think it's a little bit more red, I see a little red over here, and mix together, and that's probably right. I just don't overcomplicate things, and they are all simple. Okay. Now fill in the color in here, like that, and the color automatically become a flat color because of the wet in the area. Now I'm going to draw a little shape over here, a little shape over here, like this. Can make a little bit more interesting, like this. Maybe a little tip over here, like this. That's good. I'm gonna put the same color in here, a little tip over here, like that, and coming through. Now here you go. And now we're gonna use the same color and put over here. See that? What you're doing, just drop in the color. I'm gonna have a little bit more blue, get a little bit red. You know there's 2 colors mixed together, and what you can do is just drop in this color, and they automatically going around to mix the color together for you. Okay, like this. Like that. And this connected. Let it like this. It will be very smooth effect. Okay, now here we go. Now I'm going to draw a little line over here. Like that, make it look interesting. Now, because of the uneven of the wetness, it maybe have some area have a little bit more color together, but after you dry, could be even. So what I want to do is lift up the excess wet. It's not let it accumulate together. So now it's good, and I'm going to change to this flat brush. What I want to do now, on the edge over there, have a little bit more red color. You can see that because of the leaf affecting the color in the catch the shadow. What I want to do over here, just drop in a little color in here. I want to make this color look a little bit darker, so I'm going to add a little blue, and now a little bit more red. This is probably too much, so I'm going to let go some of the color, just this color. Now a little bit lighter, like this. Now what I want to do is to drop it in. Like that, have a little bit more red. But the value is very close together right now. So after you dry, I'm going to lift up a little color over here to make the leaf a little bit lighter, so we can create a separation. Otherwise, it looks like they all blend in together, even though they're different color, but the value is look the same. So that could be a problem. Drop in the color in here, just a little bit darker. Okay, this color, just a little bit darker, like this. You drop in a little bit color, like this. I'm going to also add a little colors inside the catch the shadow. About add a little red color too, and here. See that? That is also the catch the shadow. Okay. On this one, showing a little bit then, and that one is fine. And a little bit on the edge over here, a little bit over here, like that, a little bit over here, and add a little bit. And on this one, have the whole thing is to catch the shadow. We're gonna let the color dry. We're going to add a little warm color on top of this. Is make a little soft, and I'm going to also have a few dots on it. Or you can use the toothbrush. Okay. Let's create a little bit more contrast. The value between the leaf inside over here and the catch the shadow looks too similar. And we need to have a little bit more stronger contrast. So what we can do, we just lift up in the leaf over here, because we don't want to make the catch the shadow any lighter than this. So what we can do is to create a contrast by making the leaf a little bit lighter. Sometimes a little bit lighter, it makes a huge difference. Okay, now that is good. Now what we're gonna do, now we're gonna add a little yellow color. Yellow color is still pretty light. I'm gonna take the yellow color over here and put the yellow color in here, so make it look a little bit brighter. So otherwise, it may look a little bit too dry, too dull. And maybe add a little red, the warm color in here too. Let the color blend in like this. But this area still remains to be pretty light. At the same time, we need to have a little yellow color. And this area, make it a little bit brighter in here. And we're gonna take a little red color and put on the edge over here. This can be a little bit darker, like this. We're just going to add a little bit shadow side, like this. And I think this painting is finished.